Hey y'all, welcome to Track Girl Summer. I don't even have my script up. Let me just forget about it. We're here. Kori.
Hi.
You not gonna do the jingle?
Hi everyone. Well, you going off script, so I didn't know when to do the jingle.
Well,
But
I
here we
said
go.
welcome
Okay,
to Track Girl Summer. You do the jingle after that. All right, let's try this again. Welcome to Track Girl Summer.
Track Girl Summer. Track Girl Summer. Hi everybody.
Hi everyone.
Welcome.
I am Natasha Hastings. This is my co-host Kori Carter and our other co-host Liam. Follow me, Natasha Hastings, Twitter, IG, Facebook, all the things. Follow Kori, the Kori Monster, Twitter, IG, Facebook, right? And then most importantly, follow Track Girl Summer, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Here we are. We're back again. It's the final day of USA Track and Field Outdoor Nationals, where the World Championship team was selected for the team coming back to Eugene for the World Championships. What'd you think of the final day?
I was feeling the things, for obvious reasons. So it was I felt like this was the most entertaining day of the meet. Yeah, I felt like emotionally, Ajay was making me be in my bag. And then entertainment factor, Noah was really giving me everything I didn't know I needed. So yeah, I don't know what someone's Ajay didn't push a thing.
She didn't mean like push her physically. She meant like a thing had to dig for another gear. Girl, get off the defense. Hello.
Y'all know how I feel about Ajay Wilson. I was like, she didn't push her. Yeah, Ajay closed amazing. I felt like I could tell she was gonna run super well after the semi because the way that she passed Raven and Raven was sprint form the last 50 meters, and Ajay was able to like move past her. I think she ran a really great race tactically because I told her today, I was like, if you stress me out running from 8th place to first, I'm gonna hurt you. But yeah, I think she did amazing.
Yeah, Raven, I mean, she's known for running from the back. And honestly, this might not be a good idea. I hope you guys don't lose your patience with me and Liam. But the top three were my three picks. In terms of who I thought for sure was going to go into the World Championships. If you're just joining us, share and like the video. We are talking about the USA Championships, final day of competition. The women's 800, Athing Mo, Ajay Wilson, and Raven Rogers advanced to the World Championships. But yeah, I'm actually kind of hoarse because of that race. And I don't know if I should share this because I mean, I feel like we've let go of like being objective in this space. And like, I was cheering for Ajay. I love Athing. She's definitely a beauty to watch. She's got so much more ahead of her, but I really, really enjoyed seeing a race and seeing a head-to-head competition. Ajay didn't back down. When they got on that second turn, I was like, you're the original phenom. Get her. Go. Like, Ajay could hear me. Like, this is why I'm hoarse today. Like, it was even so much as, like, Ajay didn't necessarily go to the front. Obviously, she let a thing, do her thing and run from the front. But that's what we're used to seeing Ajay do. And we've seen her kind of play with her tactic this season where she's run from behind, she's run from the front. I just from start to finish, I was proud of Ajay, and I think she could have won the race, but I think she eased up a little bit, thinking she had it, and it's just that quick that like, yeah.
Yeah, I would correct you in saying that Ajay's been known to mix up the tactics when it comes, just not this year. But that's because I am a stan. And that's what I really appreciate about Ajay as a runner is that like whatever the race is giving, she's gonna roll with because I think sometimes as athletes we get caught up in like I'm a finisher or I'm a starter, and in a race like the 800, you can't like be so like holding tight onto this is my race strategy. Um, I think it's gonna be interesting going into Worlds. Y'all already know how I feel, who I want to win. But I feel like the media buildup has been like it's the A Thing show. And no shade because A Thing has been doing her thing, but I think they had built A Thing up to be like she's untouchable, and we saw it today like it's gonna get mixy at Worlds. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really really fun race. Y'all already know who I'm pulling for. Hi, Liam. Um, yeah, I agree with Aisha about the coverage could have been a little longer because we missed half of the meet. But yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to mute myself when he gets a little bit loud. But yeah, I agree. I definitely was expecting like a full 2 hours of like full on action. I wasn't expecting the second hour to be the already run races that I'd already found out the results for. But I guess we can move on to, should we talk about the women's 200 then?
yes, the performer of the meet. Um, First of all,
I
can
know
we just say
you're not too happy about that.
it's not that I'm not happy. I'm just like we witnessed a world record and
That wasn't
we
the
wanted to
meet performance.
get.
Yeah.
I just like don't get decisions, but um, anyways, I feel like first of all and foremost, let me say Jenna Prandini ran a curve. She was
That's
running
what you
blind.
just say is running for your life. Okay.
She ran a curve, but the way I be close,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree.
yeah,
That race, I was a little I'm not disappointed because I felt like Gabby showed up as champions do coming off of her bronze medal last year, but she wasn't in form, and we know because she's dealing with a hamstring issue. But yes, gutted is the word. But she still showed up on the line and gave it. I can't go out there and run 22.4 healthy, and she went out there and ran 22.4 with a bum leg from lane 2, and that's what champions do. You show up even when you're not 100%, but you give it 100% on that day. But yeah, good race from start to finish. That gun went off, and Jenna was another one that I was screaming at. That I was like, hold on, hold on. But I think she definitely had that home field advantage. She acknowledged that it's special for her to be back at home. And I mean, I've been to 6 world championships, and none of them are at a university. So I think that that's pretty cool and unique when you think about like the Oregon Ducks. That yes, it's great for us as
oh,
Americans get to compete at home. I know for a lot of us, we were like, I wanted to have my final lap at home in the sense of competing on U.S. soil. But I mean, imagine going to school there and then you get to compete in the world championships there. I mean, that's pretty awesome to me.
yeah. And like Oregon's a special place. They like clearly love track, and like all the Ducks were going off and making teams. I feel like when the thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
I think when like it's the matter of like third and fourth, like it's just a little something extra when you have like the crowd on your side,
Yeah.
and like that type of atmosphere. That's why I loved. I feel like there's hardly any athlete. I don't want to speak for all athletes. I wouldn't do that. But I think most athletes from the U.S. love running at Oregon just because the crowd is so hype and they make you want to run fast. So yeah,
I'm one of those
but
athletes that I don't really care to run at Hayward Field, but
here's the thing is, once you realize there's just gonna be a little bit of wind on the backstretch, you just good. You're good, and you're gonna have to take your Zyrtec. After that, it's
Hydrate.
look.
I will say, and this is, I mean, not that we have a plan to talk about anything tonight, but seeing how, you remember what Hayward Field used to look like, and like how they actually like made this stadium look like a world championship stadium. Like the first time they said world championships is going to be here, I was like, how are you going? I'm still interested to see how they're going to pull it off, because like I'm hearing that they're having issues with hotels. Parking definitely is going to be tricky because public transportation is not really like that developed in Eugene. But I think nonetheless, all things considered, it's going to be an amazing world championships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all being messy in the chat, and I'm just gonna let y'all know that I'm not putting your messy up on the screen. All right, so let's talk. We will get messy with the men's 200 because they got messy, and boy, did we enjoy it. Lyle said, okay, first of all, he looked at him crossing the line. Okay, let's talk about him.
Wait, hold on, time out. Back it up. First of all, he let this boy run out on him. And
not run out on him, but run out on him and blow by him. Like,
yes. And Noah said, bring that here, boy.
Come here.
And then turned his whole upper body. He leaned his body to the side. Put him with the ka-chow.
Some people don't like it, but I loved it.
And I feel like you loved it because you and Noah have matching coils. He stole your look for the race.
I might need to ask him what color gray is that he used, because I do have some like natural gray that's coming through, and so like maybe I need to like enhance the gray. I was feeling it.
Yeah. Then got on national television and told Lewis, while this man was standing right next to him, yeah, I saw that he hit his top speed, but I know mine is fast. I was in a panic. I said, you can just do that?
He did. But what I appreciated, as this comment is pointing out, the 18-year-old said, my job isn't done. The assignment isn't finished. Dropped the mic and walked off. And here's the thing.
Responded.
Whether or not he's 18 or not, you playing with the big boys. So if you're going to play big boy fights, I was here for it.
And then Noah responds like, yeah, it ain't over. I said, are they going to fight? Like, and you know who my favorite player in this whole situation was?
Fred Curley. I couldn't get it up fast enough. Fred was like, I ain't even got nothing for you.
Because Fred was like, this ain't got nothing to do with me. Fred slid in there. We're not even talking about the fact that he's doubling at World. Fred on the 1-2 and a 4x4 leg. You never know with Fred. And Fred is just like, Lewis, why are you asking me questions right now?
I loved every second of it. I did. Gosh, there was something else I was going to say that slipped my mind, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, because while all of this was going on and I was enjoying all of it, I couldn't help but stop and think, would this be my reaction if this was two women?
Why do you always have to ruin everything, Natasha?
I know, but
here's the thing. I'm gonna let you know right now. If someone came and snatched me up and did that to me and then said my toss, we're fighting. I'm stealing your man at that point.
Oh, I'm sure they had security in that mix zone. They needed to have security back there. Okay. After that went down on camera, listen, if they were willing to do that on camera, I mean security in the back. Okay. Security. 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 That's what it was. Ato said it best. Kumbaya doesn't sell tickets. I enjoy seeing this rivalry. And I was like, I don't disagree.
No, because you did that on national
Look. Television. But I like it though,
really?
because we get to see this
it.
18-year-old Knighton. They're both gonna go back, and they got 3 weeks to be ready to go again and tussle, because it's gonna be a tussle.
No, I said the gesture was sent to Knighton.
It wasn't. It wasn't, because he did it in New York too, where he did like this phone, whoever he was phoning, whatever. The whole thing that he did it already. But it was cute.
No.
It was cute.
You did it towards me. You looked me in my eye. You did it after snatching me up. He looked that man in his eye, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Like this is not." And I was like, "This is not like Bolt in the semifinals, like having a good time. This is the final, like." Yeah, and he pointed his finger, and then after he said, "I'm on." He got on the phone after the fact. I said, "Oh, he's on the phone with the money," and he answered.
He did.
He said, "I'm picking up. It's the bag calling."
It's the bag.
Oh yeah,
it's the bag.
We don't see it, Worlds, and I will be there watching.
Oh snap, y'all! Hold on. I gotta. No, not that. Shout out to y'all, okay? Because last night we tapped out at 75. Right now there's 81 of y'all in here. We have been MIA for God knows how long. Shout out to y'all for showing up for us. Keep sharing, keep liking the video. Bring the folks on to the party. I'm gonna try to keep this kid entertained. What's the next topic? What's the next race? What else happened today?
The 110 hurdles. Shout out to my boy D Rob, ran well. Devin didn't get the win.
He was Devin today.
He's Devin today.
It's back on.
And that was, here's the thing, I'm really proud of D Rob because his finish is not always the best. He's great for the first 5, and then his race just falls apart. But he had a amazing into his race, and I always knew that if he cleaned that up, he was going to be deadly, and he already was like up there. But he's making himself a real threat. I'm annoyed because I wanted to see Grant in there, but we'll see Grant at Worlds. But I like to see that little tussle. So yeah. You're muted, Natasha.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I don't know about that, but I sentiments exactly. It is the end of an era. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to Allison today, and it had me in my feels. And I feel like there needs to be like a fireworks show at Worlds, like a video montage, something like literally give her roses. But yeah, I'm so happy we get to see her on the world stage one last time, one last medal. So yeah. What else? There's we did the men's, women's too. Shout out to Emily Infield for getting the bid in the 5K. I really love some Emily. Emma Coburn doing it in the 3K. What else? what else happened today? The men's 800. Um, did you see a thing in her boyfriend? That was a cute little moment for me. Um, I'm waiting for Natasha to get off mute so I can
I'm trying to get Sesame Street back on the TV to calm this one down, and I'm like just screwing up.
um I was gonna say the other thing that I wanted to talk about was something that your guys' favorite brought up, which was post race interviews.
Who brought that up?
I brought it up. But so I don't know if you guys saw Sha'Carri decline interviews after her rounds, and then today she had a address to the media. She said she was speaking for all athletes. I would like to just go on the record that she was not speaking for me. But she basically said that the media was disrespectful and they need to like be more cognizant of how athletes are feeling before they like rush to ask their questions. And here's what I will say on this. Do I think there's a conversation to be had about like mental health and the fact that like sports is one of the few, I can't think of any other professions where you are expected to immediately after your failure talk about that failure to the world without even getting a chance to really process it. And that can be very hurtful when you have worked for something all year and you have to then go talk about it. I think, like we saw with Naomi Osaka, that, like that is a very difficult part of our job. But I will say that is part of our job. The other thing is that, like, yes, there can be times when the media asks some shady questions and that are disrespectful. However, I would say that the media didn't ask any disrespectful questions because they didn't get a chance to ask great questions. And so do I think that people were being disrespectful to Sha'Carri for trying to like do their job? No. Do I think that like that is part of like a very difficult part of what we do? Yes, and I can understand not wanting to do it because there's been time when like I did not want to go in the mix zone and I had to put my big girl's panties on and like just force myself to do it. But yeah. So that is what
I'm gonna try to get in here without hopefully without interruption. Um I disagree. And maybe I don't disagree. I feel like we're both kind of saying the same thing. I think there is a level of professionalism, and part of professionalism is sometimes doing things that we don't want to do. And unfortunately, sometimes that is talking about something that you haven't quite processed. And in other sports, they do have to address it right after. You see players crying. I'm gonna use our women's basketball here. Aaliyah Boston used the term, or not the term, but she referenced that they used her picture of her crying after losing in the Final Four a couple years ago or last year. And then this year she won, and she had to do interviews while she was crying and upset that like they didn't win. It's a part of our job. It's a part of professionalism. And I'm also going to say this, not that it's right, but we actually have some of the most softball media out there. If she got a problem with our media here, she wouldn't stand a chance in Europe. Because let me tell you something, the BBC, their questions alone will make you cry. And
the
again, I'm not
BBC don't
saying
play.
I'm not
They
saying
watch.
that it's right, but I'm saying unfortunately there are some parts of our game, that of our job, that isn't favorable, that we don't like.
Yeah.
But that's why media training is important, so that you know how to deal with these things when you are in an emotional state, so that you don't get to this situation and you don't have the proper tools to deal with it, because unfortunately it happens. Allison Felix has had to do many of interviews that she did not want to do. But I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's a part of being a champion. You show up even when you're not your best.
Yeah. I remember I didn't make the 2016 team. I went to the mix zone and like mid interview, I was like, I'm so sorry. I can't speak right now because I felt like my throat was closing up because I was so emotional. Like I couldn't breathe. And I like took a few seconds, took a few deep breaths, and like I got back at it. And I'm not saying that like Shakira gets a pass. What I'm saying is like I understand the feeling of not wanting to do it. Do it. I understand that it's hard. I understand that it is emotional and you're gutted and like you feel and there's probably like a level of embarrassment and shame and like she has a level of visibility that we don't have. Still part of the job. And I also don't think that she can say like they were being disrespectful. Um, so that's all I'm saying. It's like I get not want to do it, but we're also professional athletes, and if we want to be taken seriously as a sport as a whole, and you want to position yourself as a star in this sport, that kind of comes with the territory.
And I want to say to Tommy Evans, and let's normalize this, right? Let's normalize like being able to show emotions and express those emotions. I'm disappointed. I'm gutted. And yes, I'm crying. It doesn't make me a sore loser or, you're getting the raw emotions. And sometimes that's what makes you even more relatable to the fans. All right, I'm going to go be a mom. I'll be.
Yeah, and I will say that like there are times when the media can ask some questions that can be like taken as disrespect. Like the last athlete's like, "Oh, like you all run fast all year. Do you think that you can make the final? Like, what do you expect me to say to that, sir? Like, um, so I get not want to do it, but I'm just like, whoo, Lord, like I think you're right about the media training. I think that is going to be a a piece that she needs just because you can't control how the media or anyone responds to you, but you can control your reactions and like how you conduct yourself. Um, but yeah, I think also yeah, she probably is embarrassed. I mean, I was embarrassed. I'm embarrassed when I don't make teams. I'm embarrassed when I hit a hurdle and fall. I'm embarrassed when I don't run well. It's hard because like we invest so much of it and like so much of our like not that's a good thing, but so much of our self worth and our self esteem is wrapped up in our performance. So then to come out and be like, yeah, like let me answer questions about how I failed. It's hard. Um, she had time to change after her race,
Uh-uh.
but someone grabbed
We have
her.
147 people in here, y'all.
What's happening? And someone was like, y'all did this during of Atlanta and during the BET Awards.
Oh, we're missing some news happening in here. Thank you guys for updating us. Sharika Jackson, I saw it in there earlier. Sharika Jackson ran
Yeah.
21:55.
This one was 200 by the race.
Lit, okay? Jareem Richards, 1983. Come on, y'all. But athletes are required to talk to the media. If she didn't want to talk to the media, she shouldn't be judged for not doing so. I'm sure she's protecting her mental health. Well, that's an interesting point, right? Because as someone else pointed out in the chat, she did make the choice to not talk to the media. And then she made the choice to change her clothes and come back and give the media a statement.
But I will say it's like, I like to play devil's advocate. She chose not to talk to the media, and the entire world judged her for it. When she does talk to the media, now, do I think she said the right things when she decided to? The entire world, it's like the way she goes about these things. I'm like, bruh, like it's not gonna always. I don't. It's not gonna turn out great for her if that's like
It's
the
not.
way. I don't know.
Because I also come from the generation, I understand that. But if you don't want nobody to talk about you, you're going to have to do less talking. And She does a lot of talking that I've said on here time and time again. I enjoy it. I think it's good for the sport.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell a black woman to turn the volume down. Turn it up. But when that heat comes back
But
at
however,
you,
I will say, you can turn the volume up all you want. Just don't speak for me.
that part too. And when the heat comes back at you, you got to be willing to take the same heat that you're willing to give.
Yeah.
So, all right, the people in the chat, they want to talk about Jamaica. Let's move on from that.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen Jamaica's meet, but we can talk.
I haven't either, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. Here's the thing.
Oh my God,
I
we're
think that
almost at 200, y'all. Y'all, get us to 200 in here. Get us to 200 in here. Share and like. Double horn for the Jamaicans in Jamaica doing the Jamaican things and running fast and things. 21:55. Elaine was 22. Oh, but Elaine was third. Who was second?
Shelly.
We don't get fined for anything, and I know you're coming from that Twitter conversation, but we're not doing it tonight. 201 people in here, y'all. Whoa.
So here, okay. Look, I want to go like sprint by sprint. So in the 100, I think we had a great race at trials, but do I see anyone going from the U.S. team going and breaking up this Jamaican sweep? I don't know. Especially because we have such a young team. I don't know if by the time we get to Worlds, they're going to still be in shape. The 200, I feel like we have more of a fighting chance, but I don't know.
I will say what we do have in our favor this time is that the World Championships is early this year. It's only 3 weeks.
And it's home.
It's at home as well. So we might be able to count on the collegiates a little bit more than we have been able to in the past this time. We might. We just might.
So I think in the 400 we're really weak. I wouldn't say weak. I think in the 400 we're really young. So I think
Kendall's tapping on that vet door now.
But what I will say is like I don't think that like on a world stage will be now the 4x4 is a different story, but I think it's going to be hard to get a bunch of medals in the 400. 400 hurdles, so it's a wrap for them. Oh, I feel like did you see Shamir after the 400 hurdles? I feel like we didn't talk about this yesterday. I'm so overly happy for Shamir.
Her, yeah.
And you can see just like the joy and like just like the triumph in her spirit that like she's been working so hard and like highs and lows and like getting so close and then not making and like I remember like she didn't make the team in 2018 and no, not 2018, it was 2019. And she was so sad. I was hugging her, and so just to see that journey and how hard she worked, I'm just very happy for her. It feels like the 400 US 400 4x4 is always primarily people who don't do the 400 flat. I wouldn't say that because and Natasha could talk to this. I think lately it has been because we've had such
and lately as in the last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I was like, Natasha has been on all these teams and she's a 400 girl. Allison's been on these teams, 400 girls. Now y'all would every now and then let Lashinda roll through.
Nope.
But no, Lashinda never in on the 4x4? Well, dang.
Nope. The men have done it where they've taken 400 hurdlers But on the women's side, it's been 400 runners. And then there was the argument before Allison completely converted to the 400. But Allison would run the 200. She would specialize in the 200, but she would run 400s throughout the season to show fitness and then come over on the 4x4. But she was the only one who wasn't in the 400 pool that would be on the team. It's only this last year at the Olympics that we've seen them pull from other events. So
Yeah. Someone's saying Americans are known for drugs. Don't miss Jamaicans with Americans, please. How dare you? Um, just so you know, YouTube is hiding your stream on this platform and on here. Only Natasha's gonna. Well, that's weird. Someone's saying, if you saw Sharika blow away Shelly in a lane today, you wouldn't be saying that Steiner can beat her. It will be interesting.
it will be interesting. And like I said earlier, I think having the 3 week window instead of the typical month might work out in the collegiate's favor.
Someone said, if y'all know Allison so well, why hasn't she been on Track Girls Summer? Because Allison is building a company. She is a mother, but we actually were talking about having Allison on the show, and like, if we bring Allison on the show, we want to do it right. Like, we want to like do it in person, like do it lights, camera, action, give you all production because she deserves that. So
And the thing is,
we'll work on it.
either of us can ask her tonight and she'll probably be like, yeah, when do you want to do it? Or just like give us her availability, but like out of respect for who she is, like we not even gonna come at her like that. So yeah.
Someone said y'all Americans are so biased. Did I not just say that? I think it's gonna be hard for us to beat these Jamaicans in these short sprints.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be hard. I'm way behind on these the chat. I don't recall Lashonda having a 4x4 medal. I could be wrong. Maybe she does. Maybe she does indoor. Which if it's indoor, she had to run the 400 to be on the team.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Y'all be running.
I don't even remember what this is in reference to.
Me either.
All right, let me catch up to the chat because I'm way behind. Okay.
You gotta be Kombuji, Dina, Talu. Oh, and you're talking about what's her name? Why am I not forgetting?
That sounds about right.
Daphne.
Friday. Mm-hmm.
You get started running 4 events, and especially in college, and still running as a professional. Is this a progression? Yeah, I think so. Like we say it all the time, like college and high school athletes, you race yourself into shape. Like you don't train like we train. As a professional, you train yourself into shape, which is I feel like being a pro is not as fun because I can't just be out here running the 1, 2, 400 hurdles. I ran a 15 once in high school. So you really have to like train yourself to get race ready. Where in college, you just run a bunch of races until you get fit, but you can't do it at the level, and that's why you specialize. But part of the reason you run so many events is because that's part of your training program as a college athlete.
Mm-hmm. I love it when y'all correct me. Lashonda was in fact on that 2009 Berlin. And we actually share that medal. It's not a matter of counting anybody out, but we also got to go off of the fitness that you're showing right now. I mean,
yeah,
World Championships is just in 3 weeks, and a lot can happen in 3 weeks, but also.
Someone says she hopes Abby gets with Bobby Kersey, and this is what I will say: Bobby is a genius, and he knows how to coach superstars, and I love Bobby all the way down. What I will say is that Abby should go to whatever coach works for her, because while I think Coach Flo is the best coach for me, he might not be the best coach for someone else. And like that's what as an athlete you have to figure out is like don't just go to the coach that, you know, is making this athlete run fast, that athlete run fast, because that may not work for you. I can't go work for a coach that's all about power and explosion. That's not gonna work for me. I'm not doing plyos all day. I'm not. My body doesn't respond to that, you know. Or some athletes like a coach that's like way more hands off than Coach Phil would ever be. So I think it's less about the name of the coach and it's more about like you and that coach's relationship, your chemistry, their philosophy on training.
How you and that coach gel together.
Yeah.
All right, we've been talking a lot about the Jamaicans and such. We didn't talk about the men's 400 hurdles. Oh, 264. Hold on before we get into it. That y'all have doubled, almost tripled us from last night. Please keep sharing and liking. Man, we what did we do for y'all to be so good to us?
I don't know. Distance makes the heart go fonder. Someone said Bobby kind of scares me, and you're correct. Bobby don't play. Bobby will put his foot up your butt, but then also go to war for you. Like, and that's the type of coach that you need.
And I'm gonna say it again. Bobby gets this reputation, but he is the most gentlest soul. Like, I brought Liam to Penn Relays with me this year, and my mom was watching us from the stands, and she was like, "Is that Bobby playing with Liam down there?" I was like, "Yes, it is."
Bobby, like when we went to Beijing, he rented a like apartment there and was cooking for us every night. So while everyone was eating that hotel food, which was hit or miss, Bobby was in there cooking down breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm like, all right, Bobby. So it's coaches like that that make you want to run for him because you can see that they care. Yeah, we did talk about those 400 hurdles.
Oh, we have Ray to thank for all of you guys in here. Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Is Ray gonna come on though? That's a real question.
Right. Because we got some things to chat about.
What did you think about the men's 400 hurdles?
I can't wait. First of all, it was great. Right. First of all, I didn't even realize that he was from New York. Like, he's from Mount Vernon, New York. This is not very far from where I am from in New York. Or I shouldn't say, it's about an hour away, but like we still competed against each other. But he's ready to go. He's ready to go. I mean, he stuttered to that first hurdle, and I just have not seen 47. Oh, look.
So like he looked like he jogged and then was like, you know what? I might as well just go ahead and run 47. Everyone listen to DeMarcus and hit that like button. But yeah, it was interesting though because you could see the disappointment on his face when he finished, and even in his interview, he touched on like how he still doesn't think that he's there due to like COVID. Joanna, I think, is an amazing coach and has him right where he needs to be. And if you caught our interview with her last summer, just her approach to how she wants to train Rye, I think he is because he's got a big task ahead of him coming into Worlds. So I think he's not really judging himself based off of like how he did versus these U.S. athletes, but more so how he's going to fare when he gets to Worlds. Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting. I think he's got 3 weeks to like get his lungs back. And sometimes it's like, it's not a matter of training. I think sometimes it's like you just need to be able to like recover and like give your body the time to heal. And I'm hoping that that's enough time for him. I'm saying that like he didn't run 47 low, but yeah, you can just tell championship mentality when they're not satisfied, and I love to see that.
You bring up a good point though, because when you talk about like recovering And we've been talking about how world champs are only in 3 weeks. And so when we talk about a lot can happen, but not really, I just thought about something that it truly could go either way. And it really is going to be dependent on a lot of things between you and your coach. Because we talked last night about how emotionally charged and draining US Nationals is.
Watch a pro race interview and you can
Okay?
see the emotion.
Right? And most of us, I remember when I first went pro, I would go to US Nationals and then sometimes leave immediately from US Nationals and go to Paris and compete in the Diamond League. Back then it was the Golden League. But compete in that meet and I would run horribly. Why would I run horribly? And just a few days ago, I ran great because I was because I was physically and mentally exhausted. And so I finally got
When
into the
three rounds is no
habit.
joke.
Yeah, I finally got into the habit of I'm not going over to Europe for at least a week after the trials, right? And so when we're talking about the training cycle and like the athletes are going to have to come down, right? That's at least a week. You maybe got a solid week of some good workouts, but then you got to come right back off the gas because you got to go back into worlds fresh.
And my other
So
thing is like you don't have the opportunity to get that like tune up race. Like I felt like 2017 I was able to go overseas, run a race, and then go to London, and it like made all the difference. Just like get a couple more kinks. Yeah,
work
because I
those
was able to
things
run
out.
in.
Yeah.
I was able to run in Budapest, and in Budapest I beat Delila, and that was the race that told me you can win worlds. Like,
Right.
and I don't know if like I would have performed the way I did if I didn't have that race after USA's because they're still putting it together. But
I think it's going to be a toss up. It's going to be a toss up to see like how these coaches and athletes, because it's really a joint effort, right? How do we manage? Because I think on the one hand, your instinct is, all right, we've got 3 weeks. We just finished nationals. Let's go home, hit it hard for a week. But then you might run into injury because you've got to let the body recover from these 3 hard rounds. The
yeah,
stress of making
I
the
would like do a
U.S.
bunch of
national
like
team.
cross training. I would do cross training for like 3 days and then get back into it. Like I would do some like underwater treadmill stuff, some long runs, a shakeout day, and then like, all right, huh?
I'm answering this question because we need some mods. The chat is going crazy. I don't remember how to do it. I'll try to figure it out when we log off here.
Someone's saying Raven needs time to get her kick better, and I would like to address that because Raven's kick was fire.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to remember who she's running against. Like Raven's kick is still Raven's kick. It's just like you're not out kicking a thing. You're not gonna run down Ajay. Like, I mean, she has. But I think you also have to remember who she's competing. It's not like she doesn't have a good kick. It's just that a thing and Ajay had better ones.
Yeah.
They had Noah Lyles. Their top speed was a little bit better in the last 50 meters. So I don't think she's like weak by any means. I think that like Ajay and a thing were just running 157. Like,
Yeah.
someone said finger point not merited from Lyles only being a guy. The key word in that sentence is beating.
I care
You
about
can
the
do what you want
march.
when you pop in. And let's not forget how he beat him. He came and sucked him up. So it's interesting to me how people like want to monitor athletes like celebrations and reactions. Like y'all want rivalries, but then when rivals pop up, you want athletes to be humble.
Abby was not challenged today. Oh, Abby was not challenged until today. I was like, dude, will we watch the same race?
I was
But
like, I don't know.
And the one time she got beaten before NCAAs, she'll be running against the world's best, so all rounds will be flat out for her because she comes from way back. This is true. Or I shouldn't say true, but valid. Valid points.
Yeah,
But
I think
the only way
that's.
to get veteran experience is to get experience. So
I feel like that's the difference between being a collegiate runner and being a pro.
mhm.
In that, in college, okay, I gotta worry about one girl, maybe two. If you really elite like Abby, like she's worrying about one girl at NCAAs, maybe two. You get you get to Worlds and you sleep on lane 1 through 9, and you'll mess around and not be on the podium. Like anyone can give you that business, and that's sometimes a hard thing to like handle as you transition from college to pro.
Yeah. It's a part of the job, though. It's a part of the transition.
Yeah. Well,
Man, this was good. When we gonna be back, Kori?
I don't know. Do you guys want us to go to Worlds? Like, is that what y'all want? Is that what y'all want?
I want us in the building, getting these
I'm
interviews.
like really considering it. But if I go, like y'all better be here because um someone's like, why? This conspiracy theory is cracking me up because as Ariane, why would I let Noah sun me like that? Like, why would I agree to that? But yeah, I'm gonna try to. I'm not gonna promise anything because I'm doing a move and I'm about to start school. But we might plan a little something for Worlds.
We're definitely planning to cover Worlds one way or another. I can tell y'all for sure. I unfortunately cannot make it to Worlds, because yeah, I can't make it. But we will be covering it. If Kori's out there, even better. But
Right, I'm gonna
we
try.
will cover.
Natasha, they said Jamaica loves you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Has your
might
training
I
since
might
high
be home
school
next
always been
weekend.
secret?
Not next weekend, but next week I might
Someone
be
wants to
in
know,
Jamaica.
has your training since high school always been, I'm going to say that secret?
Where's that comment? Hold on. Mm,
It
I
was
don't,
like right
where's
before
that
that one.
comment? Oh,
Rashad Franzi. I'm assuming that's
secret.
secret.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was necessarily a secret. I don't think anyone was asking me for my
Right.
training.
Right. I don't think anybody was asking me
Um,
for workouts either.
yeah, unless it was Aries.
Right.
Aries is
Aries
like I
will
got books.
definitely ask you what your workouts
Uh,
are.
so yeah, I think if I was getting compared to Bull, I would not be upset. But that's just me.
We miss y'all too. We miss y'all too. Thank you, men. I always wonder why athletes keep their workouts a secret. Um,
I think because
we want to give you
you
my
don't want someone
thoughts.
exactly. You want if you want my workout, come pay my coach. Because I pay him a lot of money. Y'all can pay him too.
Okay.
Um, someone says I think Allison should have hung it up before this nationals, and I think no one asked you about that.
Kori's views are her own. They are not that of Track Girl Summer.
No, that was a fact. Um, no, because I don't tell the person who invented track and field when she should stop running track and field. They want to know how to.
I've written 4 pages My professors told one of my classmates that it needs to be 10 pages. I don't think he's getting a 10. Although I still have a few sections that I have not touched, so I'm probably going to get, if not 10, very close to it. Thanks for
Um,
asking.
I switched from Bobby after 2016 back to Coach Flo. Coach Flo was the coach that recruited me to Stanford. And I just felt like I said before, I think Bobby's a great coach, but sometimes some coaches are the coach for you. And I've always said, I think Coach Flo has always been the coach for me. So I told Allison today, I said, I want you to pull LeBron James and just keep running until you can hand off the Dawn to Cammy. That's what I'm trying to see. And she told me no. But
Absolutely.
that's what I want to see. Because at the end of the day, she's still making finals and still making teams.
Oh.
I don't know what it's all about.
Where is Aisha? She's normally in here, but she wasn't here earlier. She might have had to go do something else.
She might have a life.
Yeah. Um, I don't know about that, but oh, there she is.
Aisha said, I'm still here.
Aisha, are you still a moderator? Can you get rid of
Apparently.
those bots?
Said she's trying to.
I saw that
Um,
she won the champs today. What was her time? I didn't see the time. I just heard that she won. Thanks,
Someone
Aisha.
said they didn't. Okay, I'm glad you didn't mean that's disrespect. She's a legend, but to be an alternate is kind of beneath her status. I think, like, that's up to Allison to decide whether or not she feels comfortable and I don't think her being an alternate. I don't think they're gonna be like Allison Felix. How many medals does she have?
25, I think they said.
25
But
medals, one alternate.
also there's
I
there's
don't think
that.
anyone's gonna.
Sorry, you were talking.
And I think that sometimes it's okay to not be excellent. It's okay to be great. She's still. You know what I'm saying? I think the thing about Allison that makes her amazing is that she's not going to she's going to go down fighting, and okay,
She's a
this
professional.
W's not in. Yeah, it's she's not hiding from a fight. Oh, I'm definitely not going to win, so let me not show up.
But I also
When
think
she
that.
especially when she dedicated the season to women, to fighting for our rights, like
But I also
yeah.
think that Allison is professional enough that if what's best for the team is for her to be an alternate, then I think Allison would be professional in that. Allison is not a person that wields her I'm a legend, so I only show up in this. Um, so,
Yeah.
but if there are four legs that are better than her on that day, um, she sure does.
And she's
That's
a
a
business owner.
fact.
Someone's got to represent CashApp the U.S. Championships.
Stacia's gonna be represented, that's for sure.
um, yeah, she just dropped a new colorway, and I'm like, I need to get the green one. Um, so every race at British Champs this week was one dated except 3. LOL. Someone said that being said, they better have a run in the final. Um, so Allison be acting like she doesn't even run the 400 meters. I think we all know that the 200 is her baby. I don't think she I don't think she doesn't like running the 400 meters. I think anyone who's run the I hate running the open 4. I love run the 2's the only sprint that I like. I don't like the 100. I don't like the 4, but I love the 2. It's good to have more seasoned athletes to help younger, inexperienced athletes. It feels me. That is a fact. You don't know how much guidance the vets gave me when I first got on the scene. I just think she should have went out top with her Tokyo performance and not your career. I just I feel like I think she deserves how to like she deserves to decide how she wants to write that last chapter. Are the U.S. men going to do relay training? The question is, who is the U.S. men's relay coach? Let's get it. Let's figure that out now before anything goes
Has
on.
been
I want to
announced.
know who the coach is today. She doesn't say. Oh, Jason, did you see? Natasha, you missed this comment. Someone says she doesn't say I'm an infinite time Olympic gold medalist. Put some respect on my name. I'm weak. Yeah, I hope the U.S. men does really because here's the thing: is y'all have no excuse. Y'all just had to go right down the street to do relay practice. Someone says you just got to get in better. The Open 400 is hard for anyone running it. You just got to get in better shape to get around the track faster to avoid the pain. It doesn't matter what type of shape you are in. It doesn't matter if you're in great shape and you run it slow. You're in great shape, run it fast. The 400 meters is going to give you booty lock no matter how you run it, no matter what type of shape you're in. You're going to die.
That's not true.
What I
as the 400-meter runner here, when you are in great shape, it does not hurt. It will hurt to run slow, but when you're in great shape of your life, the 400 hurts less.
It's still gonna hurt.
Ready for bed? It doesn't hurt.
It does. All right. See, this is why I never because absolutely not.
You're sleepy.
Oh, that's a good question. Someone wants to know what the relay like should be, and they said, I think the start Bromell had, he'd be a good first leg. Curly should be anchor. Actually, this might be yeah, I think you have to put Curly last because I'd rather him either giving or taking, but not doing both, just because he doesn't have that experience. And then I would put Knight. Yeah, I would put Knight in third as well because the way he ran that curve today, I like him on the curve. Someone said the men's relay needs to start practice now. Mike Marsh is the relay coach. But is Mike Marsh going to claim the relay is my question. Coleman should be in the relay somewhere. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Coleman didn't show up. But I need to see what his... I forgot about Christian Coleman.
Ooh, we forgot. How dare we?
Well, he didn't show up, so, you know.
I think he should have, but I think do you think there were some athletes that like I get that you have the bye. I get that like it's only 3 weeks away. You want mommy to be quiet. I feel like some of them who didn't run probably could have benefited from the race, but do you think that they were ducking from possibly losing so close to the World Championships?
I mean, only they can admit that, and they'd have to admit that to themselves. I think like there's different camps in it, and that like you don't want to risk injury, or you don't want to give if you don't want to give your competition the idea that they could beat you. You know, as a hurdler, I like in my reps in. So to see Nia and Grant like pull out, like because hurdling's all about rhythm. So like I'm trying to see what I'm trying to practice that world championship rhythm as much as possible. So like I want to go toe to toe with Kenny just to feel that speed.
Which is why I was
But
so surprised to not see Nia Ali and Grant.
Grant.
Like, those are rhythm races.
Yeah. So like for me, I would have ran. But I say that as if I ran the 400 hurdles when I had to buy, but I was severely injured. But yeah, it's like I guess it's kind of like the mindset you're bringing into it. Like, do I think I can let them know like they're not messing me at Worlds, or do I stay like I don't know what Christian Coleman's gonna do. I don't know. I said Michael Rogers will run forever. Which y'all have run all 3 rounds if you had the buy, or does your coach decide? I feel like in my world, my coach decides everything. When I had the buy, I didn't run, but that was due to injury. Had I been healthy, I would have ran all 3 rounds. It's because I like rounds. I need the rounds in order to like get my rhythm, and I feel like it's good practice for Worlds, especially for the 400 hurdles. Like, since y'all say I don't tell you our workouts, like the way I would approach the rounds in the 400 hurdles is I'd run the first round, the first 6 hurdles like it was the final, and then back off. Second round, I'm running the first 8 like it's a final, and then back off, and then you get to the final and you do what you do. So to have that practice before you go to Worlds, I think is important. Coleman, Vermel, Bracy, Curly. Someone said in her post race for the semis, Nia said she was going to run the finals. So that probably told you that there's probably maybe like she's protecting her body. And Nia did look great after. But here's the thing. I'm starting to think having a baby is that secret sauce, because Nia got a medal for every single one of her babies. Shantae Lowe popping out babies like it was part of her training cycle. Allison popped out a baby, making teams, making history. Natasha popping out babies and out here still rolling. Like, I'm like, maybe I
ain't
should
do
get
it like
pregnant.
them though.
I threw you in there out of respect and kindness. But I wasn't trying to come for you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this should be part of my training cycle.
I don't even know if it's so much of the track, but yeah.
It's the fact that they're sharp.
They are sharp. They come into nationals firing.
Yeah. Grant said he would run too. Yeah. But his thing is,
oh yeah,
you never know. Like,
impressive too.
Here's the thing: is the plan for Nia and Grant could have been to run the final, and then you cool down, and you're like, oh, feel something in the hamstring. Maybe I don't run the final. You know, you start warming up, and you're like, why risk it?
You're not muted, son. Hush.
Natasha stayed with a snack during Tropical Summer. I had my dinner before this show. I want to see the U.S. regain prominence in the sprints, both men and women. I think we have to admit that like the sport, which is great. I think it is great that the sport has like the rest of the world has kind of caught up to us, because it makes for a more exciting, sport and like a more exciting meet. But do I want to see us dominate? Yeah, for sure. Do I still think that we're going to get the most medals? Yeah, for sure. Have we ever had so many collegiate runners make the US? I would say yes. I feel like this is. I feel like um not uncommon to see a lot of collegiate athletes make the team. People asking about Jasmine Camacho Quinn versus Kenny. Um, yeah, I think it's interesting that dynamic. I think I I trained with Kenny and Jasmine together, and I think Kenny comes from it from like a technical aspect. Like Kenny is flawless, and I think Jasmine is a gamer, and she don't. Jasmine does not like to lose, and Kenny really doesn't like to lose. So, but I think that Jasmine has like stepped up her. I think both of them have stepped up their weaknesses, and that I think Kenny's better at performing under pressure, and that Jasmine is a better at executing a technical. Um, I think it's going to be interesting seeing them go head to head. But I would also like to say, I never count out Nia Ali when she's in a final. If you want to talk about a gamer, is Nia Ali, and she looked so good in the rounds that I think I think it's gonna, and it's so hard to call it with the hurdles because you got to get over all 10 hurdles. But yeah, I'm just excited. I can't call it, but I kind of really like how Nia's looking this year, and also just like seeing her interviews, how she's talking about how she's just like excited to get better. The women's 4x1, I think Jamaica's got that one. I'm not gonna lie. Moment. I mean, Father Time does come for everyone, but Nia's still competing at a high level. So Nia's still running super fast. And I think we've seen athletes in older age, I hate to use that term, perform really well. And there's also a thing, father time is a thing, but also maturity and experience is a thing. And especially in a technical event like the hurdles.
I think Alasia also looks good too. I expect her to be in there, and I mean, she's
The
talking. She
only
seems
thing,
really hungry.
the only thing is, it's like I want to see her. I want to see her in the first couple of rounds just to see how she handles. Because competing at your first worlds is different. And yes, she did world indoors, but it's different when it outdoor worlds and indoor worlds are two different ball games.
I think so, but I think indoor worlds is still a good experience to prepare you for outdoor worlds.
True.
And I think she shows great momentum and that she's
Yeah,
hungry.
she is. I feel bad that we didn't discuss any of the field events, but they weren't showing them.
Yeah,
And
I really don't know what happened.
shocker of the meet, I think, is Christian Taylor not making the team, which I don't know when the last time that ever happened.
But we know he's
Um,
coming back. He basically had reconstructive surgery.
what what amazes me about CT is that this man switched legs in his jumping because he was injured and was like, "It's fine, I'll just jump from the other leg," and still y'all can't touch me. But shout out to the new father, Will Clay. He got second, and it was Donald Scott that got first, right? Am I making that up? Am I making that up? Y'all tell me. Um, and I'm like mad at it. Yeah, someone mentioned Krauser, and I'm like, I don't know how you don't just have like a picture in picture. Why don't they have picture in picture with the field events? or a split screen or something. Or I don't need to see that. I mean, it's cool, but I don't need to see that Oregon has a nail salon in their stadium. I'd rather see what's happening at the high jump. Oh, Christian does have the bye. Um, I think Eric Kennard is not competing anymore. Um, you're muted, Natasha. You're muted. You're definitely muted, Natasha.
I done answered like 3 questions. No, I'm
I've
not
been like holding
considering
it
coming
down, like,
back
dang,
after this year.
huh?
Um, Anybody who makes the team is technically in the relay pool, but who the official relay pool is, we don't know. All right, buddy.
Um, we already discussed Gavin not making the team. She was really gutted. I think she has an injury. Um, I don't think we're discussing facts when we are speculating on whether it's mental or lack of preparation because I
We don't
didn't
know.
watch her training. I don't like we can't discuss the facts. No one knows what she did in the past few weeks. But I do think Shakira's had a lot happen this year with her girlfriend situation. So I don't know if, like, sometimes like that stuff just weighs on you. And like someone was saying that like how can she run so fast at pre and then like weeks later run so slow here? And I was gonna mention that like the night before pre, Shakira's on her Instagram story going off about her ex. Um, and I was like, I don't think Shakira's gonna run well tomorrow because if that's what you are focused on, like I know for me, if that's like where my head is, I'm not gonna run fast. And then she did, and I was thinking today, I was like, well, maybe it was like an adrenaline thing, like she put all of that emotion into that race. Because I've had that where I'm upset about something and I just go off on the track, and then but trying to build yourself back up to that, like at USA's, maybe that's what happened. But I don't know. This is all just like random theories going off my head. But yeah. Um what do you think about these relays and Abby on the 4x1 and the 4x4, Natasha?
Um, I think my child just overate. Um, I think I don't know because I feel like it's likely for her to be on both relay pools. I think scheduling will play into it. I think available legs. And I don't know how they will be. No, you cannot have any more. I don't know what will be the determining factor for fitness between now and then because that's always the final answer. Who shows the most fitness?
Yeah. Um and then someone wants to know if you consider being a mentor to track athletes when it comes to mental health because it's needed. Before you answer that, I would like to say that like Team USA does provide a sports psychologist at every major championship. Like they're part of like the medical staff, but I think Natasha would be a great addition to that, and I think she should definitely do that. But have you considered it, Natasha?
That is what I'm currently studying for. I'm studying to be a mental health counselor. I'm more than likely going to do my PhD as well, but I will also be taking clients very soon to just do mental performance coaching between now and then. So, yes.
Um, Someone said, serious question. How many more teams does she feel to make before the hype dies away? Well, hopefully she doesn't fail to make the teams, but also
Saw that question, and I was trying to avoid it.
what I was gonna say is like y'all like maybe not y'all, but like that's for y'all to decide.
Right.
Actually, gonna run it.
All right. I've got to put this little boy to bed. So let's take a couple more questions and then wrap it up. We appreciate y'all being here once again. Um,
I think it's a guarantee that I don't say it's a guarantee. You never know. It's traffic in the race. I think the women are going to be pretty untouchable. Men should be able to pull it off, but sometimes you know who we put in. You know who we be putting together a team is Poland. Poland be putting together a 4x4 team. What goes on? I really can't believe it. Natasha, you've been to plenty of relay camp.
lots of
I've been.
practice. Lots of practice. They usually happen. Yeah, I know. It's time for bed. They usually happen the week before the World Championships, and yeah, lots of practice.
Yeah. Anything else? I feel like um, put this latest question. Do I think Ajay has a chance to be a thing? Now y'all know. You should have asked. You should have said Natasha. Do you think? Because y'all knew not to ask me that question. Um, we'll be back for Worlds. I don't know if we're gonna be doing anything in between that, but
if we do, we will let you guys know. Thank you guys for being patient with me and my little one tonight. But someone is ready for bed. So on that note, do you want to say bye-bye? Say bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Night night. Say thanks for joining us. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you. We'll see you next time.